Hey, what is up, guys? Today I'm back at Orange Buick GMC in Orlando, Florida, and I'm here with this 2022 GMC Terrain. Now, this is the SLE front-wheel drive trim, so this is the base model, and today I'm going to take you on the tour of it. So we're going to check it out from the exterior, interior, jump inside of it, play with some cool and interesting features, check out the engine. Finally, at the end of this video, I'm going to take you for a spin in it. So if you're ready, let's go. Well, if you look at the front of it, it almost looks the same to the previous Gen 1. However, it does get a few updates. So the lights are new, for example. It does have a standard LED daytime running lights as well as the standard LED light. Also, the grille is new, even though it looks very similar to the previous one. It is matte gray on this particular trim. Big GMC logo right in the middle of it. And then the front bumper design, it's also slightly different than the previous Gen 1. Now, I have the lights on so you can see how nice and bright they are. I hope you can see it. And then when we move on up to this front hood area, now it does have a few distinct lines on it. It does have this indent right in the middle in here, and then it's got two on the sides. Not the most aerodynamic thing, but if you're into that kind of thing, that might be your vehicle. Well, let's pop it up and let's see what powers up this thing for 2022. Underneath the hood, we see the only engine choice for this year's Terrain. So 2022 Terrain, the only engine choice, 1.5 liter engine, 170 horsepower, 203 pound-feet of torque. Made it to a 9-speed automatic transmission. Now, it is not the fastest thing out there. As a matter of fact, it was tested at about 8.9 seconds, so really kind of slow. But the good news is it does have a pretty good gas mileage, 25 in the city, 30 in the expressway, combined of 27 miles per gallon. Now, if you look at the engine compartment, pretty plain, nothing too crazy, but it does have this prop stick, so I'm going to ding it for it. However, in this class, most of the vehicles will have it, so I guess it's the same as the competition. It does have a nice sound insulation in here right on the hood, and then we'll move to the side. Hey, looking at the side profile of this vehicle, you don't see much changes, and that's because it remains basically unchanged on the side right here. Now, the only difference is that the SL trim, which was the base model, is eliminated from this model lineup. It starts at the SLE, which is this one. As a matter of fact, this particular one only has one package, and it does have the 695 package. It says GMC Pro Safety Plus package. There's a couple features that you can see right on here. Which part of this package is the blind zone assist. It does have the heated mirrors, and it also does have the turn signal indicator right built inside of the mirror right here. As far as the wheels, now it sits on 17-inch wheels. That's a standard equipment. 225/65, that's the size of the tires, and this sits on Michelin, so it drove really nice and quiet actually. The design of it, so you can see this black cladding continues around this vehicle. That's pretty much standard right now for basically any of the vehicle, especially if they're not a premium vehicles right there. But what's worth to mention, it does have a push button start, which I don't know how they can do it on the $27,000, $28,000 vehicle, but not on the GMC Canyon. Maybe for the 2022 they finally upgraded with the push button start. It does have the ability to lock and unlock the doors with simply pushing the button right here, so you don't have to push the buttons on the key. As long as the key is anywhere on you, it will do it. And as far as the whole design of it, it's actually not bad. You have this chrome trim on the top, you have the black trim at the bottom, and take a look at the lights, how nicely they go inside of here. Now this doesn't allow for a lot of visibility, so that might be an issue when looking back, so we're going to check that blind spot out as well. But let's move to the back and see how that looks from there. We'll check out the back of it. You can see the gate spoiler right here with the third brake light built in. fully LED taillights as well, which is a nice feature, and does have an LED reverse light in here as well. Now, as far as the gate itself, it's pretty straight down, straightforward. GMC logo, a little bit of a chrome, and then the same cladding as you can see at the side of it continues at the bottom of this bumper. There's no visible exhaust, and this one doesn't have a tow hook. I don't even know what the towing capacity is. It is a 1.5 liter engine, so don't think it's going to be more than about 1500, even if you can tow it. So let's see, let's pop this gate open. Unfortunately, it's not power, so you actually have to open it, but it's nice and light, and let's see how high it opens. So, oh, that might be a little bit of an issue. I'm 6 feet tall, and I am bumping my head if this gate is open like this, and I don't see anywhere to adjust it. But nevertheless, let's check out the interior of it. Well, as far as the roominess, it does have plenty of room. I gotta tell you, plenty of room in the back, and you can further extend that room by folding down the 60-40 split, and you do that by pulling those levers right here. You pull one, fold one seat, fold the other one, makes it easy, right? Now this floor is a little bit higher. Let's see what's going on underneath here. Well, you can actually open this up and look how much more storage you have. There's more storage. You can put stuff right underneath here. You can put stuff right on top of this, but spare tire is located right underneath this floor. So this got like 3 floors, actually 2 floors and 2, and that's it. There's nothing else to look at in the back of it. Let's get inside the second row. Actually, I'm surprised of how much room it has on the interior of it. I have plenty of headroom. I have probably about 4 inches above my head, plenty of shoulder room. So it is considered a compact SUV, but it's definitely the roominess of maybe close to a mid-size SUV, at least in the second row seat. Now, I do have the front seat adjusted to my regular driving position. I'm 6 feet tall, still have plenty of room. Now, interior, on the other hand, well, it's a base model, but let's take a look. Well, let's start with the door here. So it is, well, it's kind of a complicated door system, I gotta tell you. There's plenty of little nooks and storage spaces in here, but we're gonna start. There's hard plastic trim, door handle, obviously. You do have the window controls, and then you have 2 little storage right here. You have one at the bottom here, and then one at the very bottom of the door. So you can actually put stuff everywhere. I'm just not sure what can fit in those little places. But anyway, let's move on to the interior. Like I said, it's a base model, so it's a base interior trim, but the fabric looks actually durable. It does have a little bit of this contrast stitching, a little bit different pattern right in the middle of here, so it's not bad. The middle portion right here folds down, and it makes a nice head or armrest and the cup holders right here. And what else is here, which is nice, really nice, it has the vents for the AC, and then it does have 2 USB ports. That's it. That's basically it. Seatbelt pocket is only available on the passenger side, not on the driver's side, and the floor is flat, which is a nice feature. As always, we're going to check out the quality of this vehicle by shutting its door. Okay, I'd give it 5 out of 10, so it's not horrible, but definitely I've heard better. And the door itself, again, there's a lot of little nooks and crannies right in the door, and the same kind of trim, but you do have the window controls, mirror controls, all that power windows, power door locks. You do have the regular door handle, of course. And again, not sure what you can put in here, but there's a storage right here, as well as a storage for a bottle or maybe a, I don't know, a cup inside of here. Okay. GMC logo. The seat is adjusted manually, but it does have a few adjustments, so you can fold it. You can also adjust the lumbar, and of course move it front and back. And from this side, you can see there's more storage right underneath here, right underneath that the console in here, and that's because they moved to the electronic shifter. And let's get on the interior. Let's see what else is here. On the interior of this Terrain, you can see basic characteristic of a typical GM vehicle. So it might not be the smoothest, but it's more of a square and a rugged one. But actually it's functional too, so I mean, it depends on what you like. Now, one thing to see is, look at my feet. They're all the way out there. I can barely touch the gas pedal, and that's because I moved the seat all the way back. And that's important to know, because if you're bigger, like I'm 6 feet tall, even if you're 6'5" or 6'6", you gotta have plenty of room in this compact SUV. So let's take a look overall at this interior. I like how they did this. This is a soft plastic material. So that feels more quality, even though this is a base model vehicle. And it does have, you know, a few little trims in here, if you will, to break it up a little bit. Then the same trim continues right on the side with the vent, and there's a little storage compartment. Maybe you can put your phone in here. That's actually rubber lined, so it's not going to move around. So that's a pretty cool feature. Now let's get back to the steering wheel. Steering wheel, you know, on the left hand side you have the cruise control settings. On the right hand side you have a few settings, and I believe that's what controls what's going on in the instrument cluster. It is a tilt and telescoping steering wheel. It is a manual adjustment, but it does have a nice wrench, so if you'd like to adjust it for yourself, I'm sure you're going to find the setting that's right for you. GMC logo, and let's start it. You start it by pressing this button right here, and when you check out this instrument cluster right here, so you can see it is a base instrument cluster. It does have a tachometer on the left hand side, speedometer on the right hand side, then two gauges right on top. It's the temperature and the fuel gauge. Now the little screen that you can control, somewhat customize it, or basically just change the settings on it. You can see the tire pressure, air filter, average speed, timer, you know, etc. So basically just the regular stuff that you can see in the vehicle. And you know, as far as anything else, you can see, you can change as far as the options. The only thing you can change, you can turn on traction and stability on and off. So let's move on to the infotainment system. Basic, again, we've seen that on other GM models. It does have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and let's see, connect the phone. Okay, add new phone, pair wireless Android Auto compatible phone. So even on the base model, it is standard equipment, which is awesome. I like how GM does it. And you know, while I'm talking here, I want to see if I can connect that too and see if it's gonna how soon and how fast it's gonna do that for me. But okay, so select the vehicle shown right here, my GMC. It's pairing. Okay, is this code shown? 74, yep, fair. And this is going to be it. So the Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, wireless, that's a really nice feature, so you really don't have to have the navigation. And you know, again, we're looking at the base model vehicle in here. So awesome features. Okay, see my phone is connected right now. Continue to Android Auto. Check phone for messages. We're not going to go through the whole setup, but this is basically how easy it is. You know, you just press a few buttons and that's it. Continue to set up right here, and then you can see my Android Auto basically right on the screen. So nice features. Okay, you can go back and go back to the main menu. As you can see, audio, and you have the AM, FM, and Sirius satellite radio. Go back, phone, Wi-Fi settings, and on start. And these are basically the only options that you have. And you can select the different tracks or different music, if you will. And those are the only two screens in here, so fairly basic but functional. Home button, if you ever get lost, hit the home button. It's going to take you to the home screen. And then you have the volume power knob, as well as the seek or track, change the tracks on the media. And then you have the phone button. You can also turn on and off that automatic engine shut off button, and this is your hazard light. The bottom here, climate control. Again, this is not a electronic climate control. You still don't set up the temperature. You have to manually kind of figure out where your settings are, colder and warmer, etc. And then different vent positioning right here. Now what I don't really like about this, and I didn't like it on other GMs, is the way that this transmission settings are. And this is the reverse. I have to pull it, obviously. And once we have that, let's check this out. Let's check out the reverse camera. And one thing, you can see that little sign right there that was showing on. That also vibrated the seat, and that basically says, hey, watch out, there's something in the back. Also, that the vehicle is in reverse. So reverse camera, I mean, not the greatest quality, but actually it's okay. Put it in park. Let's go back. So you have neutral, drive. You also have to pull it in order to put to drive, and park it, of course. And then you have the first shift, drive, then try again. You put it in the low one, and then you can change the gears in here. That's crazy. Who's going to be driving and trying to shift the gears from here? This is kind of out of place, in my opinion. Now at the bottom of here, you have a little bit more of a storage, auxiliary outlet, USB and the USB-C, as well as you have the regular 12-volt outlet right on the side in here. Cup holders, and then you have two different drive modes basically. You have a snow mode, and then you have the regular mode, or the highway mode, right? Those are the only two modes that are available. Now also you have two buttons here for the hill descent as well as the lane keep assist. And storage wise, let's check it out. Plenty of storage. Ooh, look how deep it is. That is a deep storage compartment. And then you also have your regular dashboard. Now we're just gonna take a quick glimpse right here. There's really nothing to see other than the sunglass holder and then your regular lights, and no sunroof in this model. I'm sure in the higher ones you have it. And you do have the lights for your mirrors right here, so you can illuminate your face. Wonder if that's only for the driver or passenger as well. Yeah, passengers got it too. So good deal. Well, let's take this for a spin, see how it drives. Well, before we hit the road, Jack or Jill, well, let's talk about the pricing on different trim levels that are available on 2022 Terrain. So first one, the SLE is the base model. That's the one that we're sitting in right now. That starts at $29,095. That's including the destination charge. SLT brings it at $33,045, and then we move on to the AT4, which is the more off-roady one. That's actually probably my favorite version of any of the GMCs, and that is at $35,145. And then the Denali, the most luxurious one, tops it off at $37,745. Now there's different packages available on all of these vehicles, so I mean it can easily be in well, low to mid 40s if you deck it out, if you will. So I mean that is definitely not a cheap vehicle. It is a compact SUV, and for the price of the top of the line you can move on a notch and maybe get something a little bit bigger if that's what you need. If you need a small SUV like this, this is actually a fairly comfortable and decent size. Might not be the cheapest, might not be the best looking, but that's just my opinion. So in case you're saying, well man, this is your opinion, of course it is. My channel, my opinion. So anyways, let's take it for a spin and see how it drives. The 1.5 liter engine, and let's see how it handles. Right, so one thing that I was kind of worrying about is that blind spot, right? So I wouldn't be able to see outside of those windows, and it does sit up high. Well, yeah, it leaves a little bit of a blind spot in there, but it's not horrible. I mean, I usually mostly use the mirrors when I'm driving, so I rarely move. Well, probably not a good thing, but okay, that's what it is. Well, feel of the vehicle, first impression. Okay, the seat is on the tougher side. Let's see, we can adjust it a little bit. But the fabric itself, it's on a little bit of a tougher side, kind of a plain Jane if you ask me. Steering wheel, okay, it actually feels decent to the touch. Now I sit up high, can I drop it? Because this almost seems like I'm too high for this. Well, that's actually the lowest lever of the seat that I can select, which is not horrible. And just sit up higher. Front windshield visibility is good, side visibility is good. Mirrors, they're not bad. They're kind of small mirrors, but that's what you get with those vehicles. Well guys, we're on the stop lights. As soon as it turns green, we're gonna race to the next stoplight and we're gonna check out the acceleration on this 2022 Terrain. So far, as far as the size of it, it's nice. The materials, they're okay. The seats, they're not the most comfortable ones, so that would be my beef with it as far as complaints. And then the engine, you know, the 1.5 liter engine, we're gonna check it out and we'll see if it does have enough power to merge in traffic. That's basically what I'm going to try to do, not actually break any records and try to race anybody other than maybe those two guys right next to me. But that's not what the car is made. The car is made to be a daily driver. Okay, we're gonna see. Well, you can hear those wheels spinning right there with this 1.5 liter engine. I'm actually surprised. This is, you can hear it, and but definitely, I mean, it performs well. I think they've done testing at it at 8.9. They could probably do it a little bit quicker, but not bad at all. So acceleration is not bad, but let's talk about it. Okay, it competes in the segment where you have a lot of vehicles. So it competes in the same segment as, you know, Honda CR-V and Toyota RAV4, which are the big ones, right? Then Nissan Rogue and Mazda CX-5 and Hyundai Tucson, Kia Sportage, and the competition's done such a tremendous job, especially in the recent years, to you know, redesign and make their vehicles better. And I've done several of them, so you can check out the rest of my channel and see, you know, if you'd like the CX-5 and the Rogue and the RAV4 and the CR-V and the Tucson and the Sportage. I've done them all, so check them out. But it is a nice vehicle, don't get me wrong. It just feels very plain in comparison to what's out there on the market. And this particular one is about $30,000, which you know, it's substantial. You know, it's not, it's in line with the competition, but you get a little bit more with the competition that you get with this particular one. Now the SLE model, again, if you upgrade it to an all-wheel drive, if you upgrade it maybe with some nicer appointments, it's gonna, you know, be in the mid-30s. And mid-30s, you can buy a lot of cars. Anyways, guys, well, thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. I hope I brought a little bit of value into your life. And if you like watching videos like this, check out the rest of my channel. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and then I will see you in my next video. Cheers.